Centaurea cyanus, cornflower, and all of this is, well, you see this little lavender one over here? Also Centaurea. Yep. Centaurea cyanus, bachelor's buttons.
That's really cool. You call it cornflower?
I call it, I grew up calling it cornflower. That's the way I was taught. But we call it bachelor's buttons here. Okay? So, everything we're going to look at today, we consider it transition season annuals. Some of them are more on the cool season side, some of them are more on the warm season side, but they're all sort of right there in this little intermediate time between when it gets really hot outside and when it's warmer in the early springtime. Okay, so you wouldn't put most of these things out in the wintertime and just wait for them or expect them to make it through. This is actually an exception to that. Centaurea is one of the most hardy annuals through the winter that we've had here. These were outside since about maybe end of October, 1st of November. Okay, so they're quite hardy, and that's another reason why they're so robust, quite large. These things get to be 1 to 3 foot tall, and then obviously they've got this pubescence on the foliage, very soft foliage. All right, so it's got a fine form to it, but it also feels soft to the touch because of the pubescence, both on top and on the bottom. Okay, so the pubescence sort of makes the top and the bottom of the foliage look very similar. It gives it that blue-gray, kind of blue-green look to it. Okay, so that gives it a nice little accent quality. And then this is a composite flower. Okay, so you've got your the disc flowers that are the showy part. And I'll just take this one off. All right, the disc flowers that are the showy part. You can see they're sort of almost trumpet shaped to some extent, with almost a hollow opening on the bottom. Okay, and then the ray flowers really are almost non-existent. Okay, so it's very unique in that way, and they also have little ants all over them. Okay, these things are weeds in certain areas, and where they are, they're really they cause serious issues with tractor equipment and all sorts of cutting equipment because they dull blades really quickly. These stalks are very tough to cut through, apparently. Okay, so look for this sort of blue-green foliage with nice, longer, whitish gray pubescence. Okay, and then the stems are basically almost hollow, especially the pedicels that hold the flowers. And then they make these little, this little bulbous structure right underneath the flower and where the calyx is. And then the flower is quite nice. Whites, blues, lavenders, pinks. That's about what you'll find in Centaurea. Okay? Are there questions?